Imagine sitting at this incredibly crowded table in a busy restaurant.
Oh, yeah, we've all been there.
Right. Your stomach is just rumbling and the waiter is standing right next to you with a notepad waiting, but the menu is completely in English.
That is a lot of pressure.
It really is. And you suddenly realize you have, like, absolutely no idea how to explain that you hate spicy food or, how to ask to take the rest of your meal home.
Yeah, that's a very stressful situation for a learner.
It is, but it is one we are going to fix today. So, hello everyone, and welcome to another deep dive right here on Tim's English channel.
Hello.
Today, we are basically handing you a practical toolkit to talk confidently about, well, everyone's absolute favorite subject, which is food.
I mean, are you hungry right now? Because just talking about this is making me a little hungry.
Oh, absolutely. I am always ready to talk about food.
Good, because, it's the one topic you're guaranteed to encounter in almost every language. Like, you can avoid talking about politics or movies or sports, but eventually, you are going to have to eat.
You have to eat. Everybody eats.
Right. And to do that smoothly in an English-speaking environment, you need more than just like a memorized list of vocabulary words.
Yeah, a list won't save you when the waiter is staring at you.
Exactly. You really need to understand how English speakers conceptualize food, how they structure their daily meals, and crucially, how to avoid those little grammatical traps that, instantly give you away as a beginner.
Okay, let's unpack this. And just a quick note for you listening, we're going to keep the pace comfortable today. Clear, easy to follow, with accessible vocabulary.
That's perfect.
So to really master food vocabulary, the notes suggest it helps to just follow the natural rhythm of a day.
Oh, definitely. The language we use shifts entirely based on our energy needs at different times.
Right. So let's start with the morning. Breakfast.
Breakfast vocabulary is fascinating because it often divides right down the middle into two very distinct flavor profiles. You have savory and you have sweet.
Oh, right, the two paths.
Yeah, if you walk into a traditional diner, you are usually choosing between those two. The savory path is, well, it's straightforward and salty.
Think of like 2 fried eggs, a slice of warm toast, some butter, and just a pinch of salt.
Exactly. It's functional.
Yeah.
It's a classic morning meal. But the other path is where the vocabulary gets really interesting. The sweet path.
Oh, yeah, the sweet path is the best path.
Yeah.
You are looking at a giant stack of soft pancakes, butter melting all over the top, and sticky sweet maple syrup poured everywhere.
And usually paired with a hot cup of black coffee. Right. Just to kind of balance out all that sugar.
Right, you need the bitter coffee.
Yeah.
And actually, this immediately brings to mind a very specific and I guess slightly strange English idiom from our notes, having a sweet tooth.
Is such a fantastic phrase.
Could you clarify that for beginners? Because, it sounds like you have a literal tooth made of sugar in your mouth.
Yeah, it really does. But to be clear, we are not talking about a literal tooth. What's fascinating here is how English has this quirky habit of assigning personal preferences to specific body parts.
Oh, like with gardening.
Yes, exactly.
Hmm.
If you are naturally good at growing plants, we say you have a green thumb.
Right, or if you're good at, like, picking up a melody, you have an ear for music.
Exactly. So if you naturally prefer eating cake or chocolate or those pancakes with syrup instead of salty eggs, you have a sweet tooth.
I love that. It's a structural quirk of the language. Instead of just saying, I really like sugar, you playfully blame it on a specific part of your body.
Right. It kind of removes a bit of the guilt. Like, I can't help eating this chocolate. I just have a sweet tooth. It's my tooth's fault.
That's great. Okay, so as the morning ends, our energy needs change, right? And the vocabulary shifts from that morning comfort to, well, midday utility. We arrive at lunch.
Yes, lunch. Midday is usually dictated entirely by the clock.
You're at work or you're studying, you're busy.
Exactly. You have very limited time. So you are basically faced with a choice. Do you buy a quick lunch or do you bring food from home?
Right. And if you buy something quick, the vocabulary is often centered around convenience, like a sandwich.
Yeah, a chicken sandwich with cheese, lettuce, tomato, something you can literally hold in one hand while you do something else.
But if you bring food from home, you unlock one of the absolute most culturally significant food words in the English language.
Oh, yes. Leftovers.
Leftovers. The uneaten food from a previous meal, usually whatever you had for dinner the night before.
Right. And what's interesting is the culture around leftovers.
Yeah, I find that fascinating because decades ago, serving someone leftovers might have been seen as, well, slightly cheap or even a bit rude.
Totally. It was like giving someone second-rate food.
Yeah.
But today, Bringing leftover chicken and rice to work on a Tuesday to save time and money, that is practically a badge of honor.
It's efficient. It's smart. And when we talk about a lunch like chicken and rice, our sources point out that we often describe it using a highly functional word. We say the meal is filling.
Yes, filling is a crucial adjective for learners to know.
Because it's not about taste, right?
Exactly. When you say a food is filling, you're not just saying it tastes delicious. You are actually describing a physical mechanism.
Right. It literally fills up the empty space in your stomach.
And it shuts down your hunger for hours.
Mm-hmm.
Rice, potatoes, heavy breads, these are all very filling foods. The vocabulary directly connects the physical sensation of your body to the actual item on your plate.
Which is exactly what you need at, 1 p.m. on a busy Tuesday. You need food that does a job.
You really do.
But once the workday ends, the language around food completely opens up again. We transition to the evening, to dinner.
And dinner is typically the largest meal in an English-speaking household.
Plus, it's the most social.
Right. Because you have more time, dinner is where you see a massive variety of international cuisines. You aren't just eating for fuel anymore.
You're eating for an experience. You might go out for Italian food and order this massive plate of spaghetti with meat sauce and just lots of garlic.
Or you might go out for Mexican food and get a plate of tacos.
Exactly. And this is where you really have to know how to communicate your physical limits to a waiter. Specifically, limits regarding spice.
Oh, spice levels are an absolute minefield for language learners.
They really are.
If you love heat, you ask for spicy. Yeah, the hot sauce.
Mm.
But if you cannot handle the heat, if you want food that will literally not cause physical pain in your mouth.
Which is very important.
Very important. You have to ask for your food to be mild.
Mild. Such a versatile word. I always tell learners to pay attention to how food words sort of escape the kitchen and leak into the rest of the language.
Oh, that's a great point.
Because mild just means gentle or not extreme. We use it for food that isn't spicy, but we also say, like, the weather is very mild today.
Right, meaning it isn't too hot or too cold.
Yeah. Or we might say, I have a mild headache. It hurts, but not terribly. If you understand the core concept of gentle, you can use the word everywhere.
That is a brilliant way to look at it. And mild and spicy really belong to this larger universal toolkit of flavor.
Yes, the 4 core descriptive words.
Right. You absolutely must master these 4.
Yeah.
Sweet, salty, spicy, and sour.
And we covered sweet and salty with our breakfast discussion, sugar versus salt.
Yep. And spicy is obviously the chili peppers and the heat.
But here's where it gets really interesting in the notes. Sour. Sour is the one that always causes a physical reaction. Lemons, vinegar, stuff like that.
Yeah, sour is the flavor of acidity. And what is fascinating about sour is the physical response it triggers.
Visualizing it really helps learners remember the word, right?
Absolutely. Think about it. When you bite into a slice of raw lemon, what happens? Your eyes squint, your cheeks pull inward, your whole face just kind of scrunches together.
It's involuntary. And just like mild, these flavor words get applied to human personalities all the time.
All the time.
If someone is kind, we say, oh, she is so sweet. If someone is angry or bitter, we say, he has a sour attitude.
Young people today might even say, he is being salty, if someone is holding a grudge.
Yes, salty. The language of food really is the language of human behavior.
It really is. But strictly regarding the kitchen, mastering sweet, salty, spicy, and sour gives you an incredible advantage as a learner.
How so?
Well, you might be in a restaurant and have absolutely no idea what the English name of a specific dish is.
Right. The menu is just confusing.
Exactly. But if you can point to the menu and ask the waiter, is this dish sweet or is it spicy? You are taking control of the situation.
Oh, I see. You don't need a massive dictionary.
No, you just need those 4 adjectives to navigate almost any menu in the world. It is an amazing linguistic toolkit.
That is incredibly empowering. Okay, so we have mapped out breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but we are actually missing a huge part of modern eating habits. What happens in those empty hours in between those meals?
Ah, yes. We enter the territory of snacks.
Snacks. A snack is just a small amount of food eaten between main meals, right?
Physically, yes.
Yeah.
But snacking is way more than just eating. It is an entire cultural behavior.
That makes sense.
People often snack not because they are genuinely hungry, but because they are bored or maybe stressed or just being social.
You see this in casual conversation all the time. Someone will stand up from their desk at work and say, I'm going to grab a snack.
Right. And knowing that this means they're just going to get a small, fast bite helps you follow the natural flow of daily English life.
And snacks usually fall into 2 opposing categories. You have healthy snacks like an apple, a banana, or a small handful of nuts like almonds.
And then you have fast food or processed snacks,
The fun
the
snacks.
fun snacks. And the ultimate example is the potato chip. Fast food is cheap, it is accessible, but it's undeniably less healthy than eating food prepared at home.
Oh, for sure. But the notes highlight something really cool about potato chips. The appeal isn't just the salt, it's the sound.
Yes. The sensory experience.
Yeah. The crunch. English leans so heavily into onomatopoeia words that sound like the action they describe. Crunch, crunch, crunch. You don't just taste a potato chip, you hear it.
Food marketing in English-speaking countries focuses just as much on the texture and the sound of a snack as it does on the flavor.
Right, if a snack is crunchy, it just feels fresh and satisfying.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, identifying the difference between a full meal and a quick snack, and understanding that fast food culture, it really helps English learners navigate informal social situations.
It's essential for casual conversations with native speakers. Okay, so having all this vocabulary, the flavors, the meal times, the textures, it's wonderful. But it completely falls apart if we cannot build a proper sentence.
It does.
So let's transition into our grammar rescue segment.
Oh, I love grammar rescue.
This is where we fix the common traps. We hear these mistakes constantly, so if you're listening and you make them, please do not feel bad.
Not at all. Everyone makes them.
But fixing them will instantly elevate how natural you sound. So let's look at mistake number 1. A learner might sit down, take a bite of food, and say, I very like pizza.
Yes. And it is entirely understandable why someone would construct that sentence.
Sure, they know very means a lot, and they know the word like.
Right. But in English, the word very is an amplifier for descriptions, for adjectives. You can say a pizza is very hot, or a slice is very big.
But like is an action.
Exactly. It is a verb. You cannot vary an action.
Right. You have to use an adverb that modifies the verb. So instead of I very like pizza, you shift it to I really like pizza.
Perfect. Or you can put the degree at the very end of the sentence and say, I like pizza very much.
That sounds so much better. Okay, mistake number 2. This one involves how English categorizes the physical world, which gets weird. A learner sitting at a restaurant might ask the waiter, I want to eat a bread, or can I have a water?
The dreaded uncountable nouns.
Mm-mm.
Bread, water, rice, cheese.
Yes, you cannot put the letter A in front of them. The correct sentence is just, I want to eat bread. But, okay, I have to push back here because this frustrates learners endlessly.
It really does.
I can go to the grocery store, and I can clearly pick up one physical object of bread. I buy one loaf. So why on earth can I not say a bread? I mean, a simple analogy here.
This raises an important question. And the best way to visualize it is to think of English nouns as existing in 2 distinct states, individual objects and bulk substances.
Okay, substances.
Imagine a massive block of wet clay or a giant lake of water. You cannot count one water when you're looking at a lake.
Right, it's just continuous amount of stuff.
Exactly, it's a continuous substance.
Yep.
Bread and cheese operate the exact same way in the English language mind. They're substances.
But when I buy a loaf,
Notice what you just counted. You counted the loaf, you counted the container, or the specific shape that the baker made. You can count a slice of bread, you can count a cup of water, you can count a grain of rice. The slice, the cup, the grain, those are the countable units.
that makes so much sense.
But the underlying material itself, the
Yeah.
bread, the water, the rice, it has no plural form. It shifts how we think about objects on the table. You are not eating a rice. You are eating from a substance called rice.
That distinction between the container and the substance clears up so much confusion. That's a great analogy. All right, mistake number 3. Someone might look at a fruit bowl and say, I want to eat an apple.
Yes. The problem here is that we have a collision. We have 2 verbs, want and eat. In English, when you have 2 verbs sitting right next to each other, they crash.
They need a bridge.
Exactly. You need a bridge between them to connect the action. And that bridge is the tiny word to.
I want to eat an apple.
Yes. The to separates them so they function properly, and it applies everywhere. I like to cook. I need to drink.
Whenever you feel 2 verbs stacking up, remember to build that bridge.
Fixing those 3 things, swapping very like for really like, dropping the A before uncountable substances, and building that to bridge between verbs, it will immediately make your English sound natural and polished.
It is a total game changer. All right, as we near the end of our deep dive, we need to finalize our daily survival phrases. You are at a dinner party with native English speakers. You need the exact polite phrases to survive the evening.
Right. From the moment you sit down to the moment you leave.
First, you might be asked for your preference. Keep it simple and direct. The phrase is, my favorite food is. For example, my favorite food is sushi, or my favorite food is Italian.
Next, you need to announce your physical state before the meal begins. The standard phrase is, I am hungry.
But let's say it is a disaster. You missed lunch. You haven't eaten since your sweet pancake breakfast at 8 a.m. and it is now 7 p.m. Hungry just isn't strong enough. What do you say?
You escalate the vocabulary. You say, I am starving.
Starving.
Now, technically, starving means dying from a lack of food. But in conversational English, it is used playfully to communicate extreme, urgent hunger.
If you tell a host you are starving, they will usually rush to get food on the table.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so you were starving, you ate a huge plate of filling food, and now the host is trying to offer you a second plate. But you physically cannot eat another bite.
What do you say?
The phrase you need is, I am full. I always picture this like a car pulling up to a gas station. You put the nozzle in, the gas flows, and eventually the needle hits the F. The tank is full.
That is the perfect visual.
You physically cannot put another drop of gas into the car without it spilling over.
Right. And saying I am full is the polite, universally understood signal that you are completely satisfied. It tells the host that their food was so abundant that your physical capacity has been reached.
It's like a compliment masked as a boundary.
Exactly. And speaking of compliments, before you leave the table, you absolutely must thank the cook. The standard polite phrase is, this is delicious. Thank you for cooking.
Let's focus on that word for a second. Delicious. It's so much better than just good.
Delicious is the ultimate compliment in English food culture. When you say food is good or tasty, that is fine. But delicious carries an emotional weight.
Yeah, it implies that the food didn't just stop your hunger. It brought you genuine joy.
It is a pure expression of gratitude for the effort the chef put into the meal.
It is a powerful, joyful word. Well, look at what we have built today. We started at breakfast, navigating the cultural quirks of the sweet tooth,
We move through the midday utility of filling leftovers.
and explored the massive international variety of dinner, learning how to command the kitchen with sweet, salty, spicy, sour, and mild.
We decoded the sensory appeal of crunchy snacks, fundamentally changed how we view uncountable nouns as bulk substances, and polished our grammar so that our verbs never crash into each other again.
You now have a robust, practical toolkit for navigating any restaurant or dinner party in the English-speaking world. But, as always, practice makes perfect, and that brings us to our call to action for you, our listener.
Yes, we want you to use this toolkit today. Your task is to answer this simple question from our notes. What is your favorite food and why?
Go down to the comment section of this audio or video and write your answer. But push yourself. Use the structures we discussed.
Try writing. My favorite food is blank because it is sweet, salty, spicy, or sour. Let us know if it is crunchy. Let us know if it makes a great filling leftover. Apply the vocabulary.
We really read the comments, and we love seeing how you build your sentences. And while you are down there, please hit the like button and subscribe to Tim's English channel. We are here to help you speak confident, natural English, and subscribing ensures you never miss a lesson.
It has been a real pleasure guiding you through this material today.
It has. But before we sign off, we want to leave you with one final kind of provocative thought to ponder. We just discussed how delicious is the ultimate expression of joy regarding food.
Right.
It raises a fascinating philosophical question. Does acquiring this vocabulary learning that the precise words for mild, crunchy, sour, and delicious actually make the physical experience of eating better?
Oh, wow.
Think about it. When you finally have the exact English words to turn to your friend and share the joy of what you are tasting, does that shared connection actually make the food taste sweeter, simply because you can finally express it?
That is a wonderful thought.
Ponder that the next time you sit down at a crowded restaurant table. Go eat something delicious, and until next time, happy eating, everyone.